Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. Dylan here. We have a major bombshell today about Alvin Bragg that you do not want to miss, okay? The truth about this sick man just came out, and let's just say the truth is finally getting revealed about Alvin Bragg and the judge who just ordered Donald Trump to get sentenced right before the inauguration. This is absolutely insane, okay? Before we dive in, we're gonna read the Bible. We're gonna pray because God comes first, amen? Comment amen down below if you believe God comes first. Today's Bible reading is Philippians 4:6. Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. Amen. So comment amen down below, my brothers and sisters. And now let's jump into the video. All right, so here's Alvin Bragg. Here's the latest updates on Fox News with Donald J. Trump.
Here to react now is New York Republican Congressman Mike Lawler. Congressman, we just got a Truth Social from the president-elect. I'm just going to read part of it because it is quite long and it is quite hard. He says that there has never been a president who was so evilly and illegally treated as I. Corrupt Democrat judges and prosecutors have gone against a political opponent of a president, me, at levels of injustice never seen before. Corrupt judges or judges so blinded by their hatred of me and my political ideology to make America great again are making a mockery of the United States judicial system. Well, wow. It goes on, by the way, but the bottom line is there's so many grounds for appeal on this case. First of all, the way it was brought by the local DA here, Alvin Bragg, and the way it was tried, a lot of areas in which it could be appealed. Is there any way to fast track that appeal before the president is inaugurated, or are we just going to have to live with this?
Well, the great irony in all of this is that I don't think anyone did more to help elect Donald Trump president of the United States than Alvin Bragg.
Oh, there you go, Alvin Bragg. I hope you're watching this, buddy. Yeah, you helped Donald Trump win. It backfired against Kamala Harris and you and the left and the Democrat Trump-hating lunatics with Trump derangement syndrome. It actually helped Donald J. Trump defeat Lion Kamala Harris. Look at Alina Habba there. Yeah, she's smiling. She's taking a photo of Trump, the next president, the 47th.
And Tish James.
Yeah.
In both cases, you had two rogue prosecutors who decided that when they were running for office, that they were going to go after Donald Trump. They said it. They ran on it. And then, in fact, did it. And in both cases, the charges make no sense. In the case of Alvin Bragg, he took what it would have amounted to, at worst, a violation of the FEC. And turned it from a federal case into a state case and from a misdemeanor into a felony. That alone, the way this case was brought, it should have been thrown out just on the merits itself.
Congressman, I'm sorry to interrupt, but we've had so much breaking news. We only have a chance for one more question because of the Carter funeral.
I hate the news, how they, podcasts are just way better. They always have to say, oh, we only have time for this much more. Podcasts can talk for hours. I hate how the news is set up. It's such an old-fashioned, I feel like in 20 years, people can be like, you guys used to watch the freaking news? Or you used to, oh, we got time for one more question. Why not? Why? Why don't we run this out another hour? Reveal the truth.
Etc. Very quickly, yesterday we saw Speaker Johnson elected. A lot of people say it was because of the last-minute campaigning by the president-elect himself with phone calls and so forth.
Yeah, we don't care about Mike Johnson, okay? We want to hear about Alvin Bragg. So Alvin Bragg is also under heat for the Penny case. Leo Terrell says Alvin Bragg tried the Penny case for political and racial reasons. Let's tune in.
All right, big decision by the jury today in the trial of Daniel Penny, finding him unanimously not guilty on charges of reckless homicide. That was after he had the charge of manslaughter dropped against him last week. The jury was recharged with seeing if they could come up with a guilty verdict on the lesser charge. And they gave a very strong signal that they did not think that he was guilty of either one of those crimes. Let's bring in Leo Terrell, Fox News contributor and a civil rights attorney. Wow, this is a big victory for Daniel Penny. A lot of people say it never should have even gone to trial.
Well, John, thanks for the question. It's a failure on the part of Alvin Bragg. He tried this case for political, racial reasons. For 10 days, this case was sitting there, then all of a sudden he decided to prosecute, and the jury said no. And it's very clear that Alvin Bragg goes after people that basically is politically motivated. He went after Trump, and he went after this individual because the suspect was black, and the jury said no.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and what do you make of this idea that after the judge dismissed the more serious charge regarding manslaughter, that Alvin Bragg came back at the judge and said, well, we've got to give the jury another charge. Let's go with the negligent homicide charge. And the judge said, okay. And he gave another Allen charge to the jury, and they went away for the weekend. And they came back this morning and said, look, it's just not there. You haven't proven what we need to bring back a conviction. But what do you think of what some people say is a game that the Manhattan prosecutor was playing?
Yeah, and the guy turned out to be a hero. He was protecting the other people on the bus or on the train. And Alvin Bragg went after him because the guy who he was protecting him from was black. And people are like, well, Alvin Bragg is, he's a taxpayer-funded district attorney, and he's spending all of his time going after Daniel Penny and also going after Trump. And what's crazy is District Attorney Alvin Bragg agrees to pause the Trump hush money sentencing, but opposes tossing case entirely. And now that they are doing the sentencing, it's like, okay, well, if you agreed to pause it, why are you still doing it? Doesn't make any sense.
Era, we have to get to this breaking news. We've been awaiting this this morning and now into the afternoon. There is breaking news from Trump's New York criminal case. Prosecutors are now urging Judge Juan Merchan to pause the case to allow Trump to seek a dismissal. The president-elect was convicted in May, as you know, of falsifying business records related to payments for adult film actress Stormy Daniels in 2016.
Crazy. Absolutely crazy. You're just gonna, still sentence Trump now?
President Alina Habba, congratulations on the appointment. It's going to be a great job for you to get your head around all of this, because you have to look at it from a big picture point of view. But when Garrett Tenney runs a clip of the woman saying, I used to love going to the park, I mean, those are the people that you really think about when you're fighting for the policies, even if it's going to be difficult some days in the messaging.
Yeah, of course that's true. And difficult messaging is not something we're unfamiliar with, or President Trump is. We have to make clear the one thing, Dana, and that is that we are doing this for the American people. As Tom Homan said, we are trying to make sure we clean up the streets, get on board. Eric Adams is a perfect example of it, and I can't believe I'm saying that, but he said, look, you can cancel me. This isn't about politics. This is about safety, security, and the people that I was voted by to support and protect and defend. And that's what we want to do. We got to correct this so that people do feel safe going to the parks, so that children are not worried, so we don't have fentanyl crisis, and the list goes on and on and on. And that's going to be top of mind when we get in there.
Yeah, you heard us a moment ago probably read this story out of Chicago, and Homan went there and said, to Democrats, get out of our way. I think he said, get the hell out of the way. Yeah. He was also asked about separation of families. He said, I'm not looking to separate families at all. That's not my goal. My goal is to enforce the law, but if you put yourself in that position, it may happen, end quote. How much thought have you given to that possibility, Lena?
Listen, every single issue that we're going to have to face because of what they have done over the last 3.5 years is going to have the negative press, the positive press, all the things that come with making tough decisions. Nobody is breaking up families. Nobody is targeting individuals and making sure that one over the other goes out. That doesn't happen under President Trump. It didn't happen before. But you do not have a right to come here to endanger us or to not come in here the right way. You can come in as an immigrant, as my parents did, but you must do it the right way. So there's nobody that understands it better than I do, but I can assure you, Tom Homan, as tough as nails as he is, he's looking out for us. And child trafficking is something he's spoken about extensively. And that is why he wants to get families, if they will cooperate, out and in the right way. That's all it is. You know, you're welcome into this country, but not illegally.
100%.
Can we ask you about New York justice system? You are familiar with it.
Here we go, guys. Here's Alvin Bragg.
So Alvin Bragg, the prosecutor, brought this case against Daniel Penny in the chokehold case against when Jordan Neely was in the subway causing mayhem. Daniel Penny puts him in a chokehold, and then we have this trial. So here's a headline from the Free Press. Daniel Penny's innocence and the shame of Alvin Bragg. A just verdict for Danny Penny does not erase the cynical, wrong-headed, and unwarranted prosecution. And just to put up for everybody to see, this is crime under DA Alvin Bragg that is up in almost every category. You can see it here. Rape up 7.4%, robbery up, grand larceny up 29.8%, etc. There will be a challenger to Alvin Bragg, but this city just went through a trial, and I wanted to get your take on it.
This was an atrocity, and I think that is a very well-stated headline. Alvin Bragg is a disgrace. I have said that for years. I have said that under what he did to President Trump, and I can assure you as counselor to the president, when I get in the administration, I will make sure that this does not happen again. It is very disturbing to me. We have Pam Bondi in the Attorney General's office. She's going to be tremendous. We have people making sure that these types of attacks on individuals, while migrants run loose, while people can't go to parks, while people are afraid to take subways, that this exact thing does not happen. Alvin Bragg has made a shame of New York. He has ruined our city, and it is really, we have no place for it in America anymore. And I can assure you, on January 21st, I will definitely be putting my head down to make sure whatever we need to do to make sure this does not happen again.
Lena, thanks for coming on. We'll see you in Washington very soon.
Damn, guys. So what do you guys think about Alvin Bragg? Let me know your thoughts down below.